Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Well, the blockchain industry is promised to revolutionize everything from contracts to money. And with me is the Chief Research Officer, Bernhard Scholz of Fantom, also a professor of computer science at the University of Sydney in Australia. And let's just chit-chat a little bit about blockchain. Bernhard, great to have you with us. It's good to see you across the globe. And so tell me a little bit about your background and how you became to be a computer science person and an expert in blockchain.
Thanks, Jane, for having me. Well, it's a fascinating industry, the blockchain industry, and the history of it is also very exciting. I mean, it started after the global financial crisis, and people wanted to have safer ways to store away their money. And so it started with Bitcoin. And the idea of Bitcoin was really that it's a distributed ledger which is kept consistent by quite complex network protocols. And it's quite safe as well, using mathematical puzzles. And I'm sure everyone has heard about miners, and these miners are basically the custodians of the bank, or keeping the ledger consistent, solving these crypto puzzles, and with that they keep the ledger intact. So this was Bitcoin, and that was very fascinating for computer scientists, because suddenly a lot of very complex computer science problems came from it. So it's all about distributed computing. It's about hard cryptographic problems. But later, so about 2015, a new blockchain came on the block, and this was Ethereum. And with Ethereum, suddenly you could start making money programmable. And with programmable money, we can really now implement sophisticated applications on such a blockchain. I want just to mention a few applications. So a few of these applications would be DeFi, decentralized finances. So all these financial instruments we are used from the daily life in a bank or a stock exchange sort of became replicated on the blockchain. And the major idea there was to really keep the costs down, so to automate these financial instruments and make it available for everyone, so to democratize the financial instruments. And that was one of these big goals of the blockchain industry, and it is still the goal. Yeah. Moving fast forward, I'm part of the Fantom organization. Quite recently, I took leave from the university, at least for 2 years, and my job is really to set up a research lab to further the technology of Fantom. So the idea is to have new ways of doing things, and we really envision that this whole technology will be used much more widespread than it is used today.
Okay, very interesting. And YouTube has MIT courses. And I mean, there is a way certainly to at least get a baseline education about blockchain online for free. And then you can, kind of decide if you want to learn more from there. But, well, Professor, thank you so much. It's very interesting to hear about this and to hear your thoughts about blockchain and what you're doing with Fantom.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Thousands of people use Fantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Fantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Fantom today.
Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. I founded my company based on the belief of partnerships. If we didn't have partnerships and trust and relationships, nothing would move forward. We really like to get to know the core of the client. We want to know who we're working with. We believe in a story, and that's why we call ourselves a story time lender. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
We're all getting older, and with that comes a lifetime of microscopic damages at the cellular level. And Lifeist has microcellular science, and CellF is an intensive super blend formula. It claims to boost energy at the cellular level. So with me is the COO of Lifeist and the CEO of Mikra, Faraaz Jamal. It's great to see you back here again.
That's amazing, Jane.
So CellF is the actual product, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And that replaces what, multivitamins? Like, how does this work exactly?
So it's actually a really great question. A lot of our customers right now, they email in, they phone in and things like that, and they ask what can Self actually replace? And generally,
so you call it Self.
Yeah.
Self. Okay.
Yeah, it's CellF or Self depending on how you want to go about it. But Self can actually replace your multivitamins as long as you're not, majority of people take multivitamins for whole body health and wellness and things like that. I always like to say that Self is actually the new modern multivitamin. It's meant to promote a healthy lifestyle as well as a healthy cellular system.
And I remember you explained that it works on the cells. And so, and we talked about hydration. That was one of the key things. So how does it work?
Yeah, so when you do ingest Self, it moves through your gastric environment completely unchanged, and then it's all absorbed directly into your cells. And that's where our technology really shines. So we actually transport these nutrients directly into your cells, and then they create reactions that can boost your inflammatory responses, your immune system, basically get rid of your chronic fatigue, and that's where Self really does shine. The majority of people out there right now take their multivitamins and they take their supplements and they're hoping to achieve more energy or achieve a better, just reduce some of that inflammation.
Better,
and Self actually does that.
Now, you've sold out 3 times.
Yes.
So apparently people are certainly willing to try. Are these repeat customers? Are they seeing successful results?
Yeah, so when we did push Self out to the market, it was a pilot test. I really wanted to understand how people would feel when they took the product, and honestly, it tastes like medicine. It tastes like it's supposed to work, and it does. We just didn't anticipate that over literally 80% of our customers would come back and then continuously buy, and then we've also seen them buying for their families as well. Mm-hmm. So that's where that compounding effect has really come into play. So it's been really cool, but a little bit stressful as well to sell out 3 times.
Keep up with supply.
Yeah.
Is it a powder or a gel, or what is it?
It's a nutraceutical gel. So it's more like if you were to ingest peanut butter. It's that kind of type of consistency, and it's, again, we're very different, and the reason why it's not a powder or anything else is because we use the active forms of the ingredients, so it doesn't get it doesn't get exposed to oxygen or anything like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And is it a once a day thing?
It's once a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're just now for sale on e-commerce.
Correct.
So are you thinking about expanding?
That's actually really well timed. We're actually in talks with a major retailer, so we're hoping to roll something out over the next couple of quarters, as well as a lot of chiropractor as well as spinal clinics have been reaching out as well. So, yeah, I think we'll be everywhere quite soon.
So would you say this is more a pharmaceutical or a supplement?
I would say that we're closer to a pharmaceutical, and the major reason why is I always like to say Self doesn't have any fairy dusting in it. And what I mean by that is we actually use clinically dosed levels of ingredients. So Self has got ingredients that are backed by about 150 human clinical studies.
Okay.
And we don't skimp at all. So everything that's within the product is the same dosage amounts that are used in those clinical studies. You'll come across other supplements that will claim to boost energy and things like that, but they have like what we call trace ingredients, and then they usually just fortify the product with caffeine or some sort of stimulant. So you kind of feel like that jitteriness after, and you're like, oh, it's working. So we stray away from that completely. And then on top of that, we pair it with our technology, which makes sure that the actual products are absorbed directly into your cells.
And so what are some of the benefits? You mentioned just energy.
Yep.
What are those benefits, and who seems to benefit the most?
So that's actually a really good question. And energy is such a broad term. We basically like to say that if you're taking a nap midday, or like you're hitting that afternoon slump, or you're like throwing back tons and tons of coffee, this product is probably going to be the one for you. It's not a stimulant in the sense that like you're going to take it and then you're going to immediately just stop having coffee or something like that. It'll take about a week or two, and then suddenly you start to sleep a little bit better. You'll feel a little bit more rested. Some of that chronic fatigue that you may be having in the past will start to slowly fade away. And you'll start to feel healthier as like a human being.
Yeah, just like you want to go out and tackle the world. So
exactly, yeah.
How big do you think this product could get?
I always say that Self is for everyone, but truthfully, the majority of individuals who are going to benefit are above 30. Like that's kind of that sweet spot. Once you hit 30, all of your like all-nighters at university or like all of those things like kind of catch up to you, and you hit that wall. Self is designed for everybody who's above 30.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much, Faraaz, for coming back.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thousands of people use Fantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Fantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Fantom today.
Out of control inflation, escalating government debt, gas and energy bills burning through your savings, and a spiraling war in Europe. The world feels like a very uncertain place right now, and it's harder and harder to take control of your money and safeguard your savings. I mean, why would anyone want to keep their money in a bank that's only going to lend it out for its own profit? Putting your savings at risk, and for what? A pittance in interest? Well, let me tell you about Glint and how they can help you to save in real gold you can spend like dollars. Now, first off, Glint's not a bank or crypto or some new type of credit card. What Glint provides is the ability and freedom to buy, save, and spend real allocated gold that's secured in Brink's vaults and insured by Lloyd's of London. Glint's Smart app and MasterCard is leading the payments revolution, putting you in control of your money by making real gold, trusted for thousands of years, into an instant, secure digital currency for the modern world. Best of all, your gold is always your gold. It's no one else's liability. It's secure and allocated to you. It never goes away, even in a crash. To learn more, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store. It's time to take control of your money and protect it with the time-tested security of gold and the modern digital convenience of Glint. Gold is security. Glint, it's key.
Pawtocol Pawtocol is using the power of blockchain technology to create solutions that will strengthen the pet community and bring value back to its members, all while providing help for pets with shelters and so forth. And I've got Colin Jordan, the CEO, with me here today, and you have brought a friend. So why don't you introduce her?
I did. This is Marlina Cotter. She's a longtime friend of mine, and she is also our rescue coordinator at Pawtocol now.
Okay, so let's talk about what you're doing there. Tell us about your work at Pawtocol.
So my work at Pawtocol, I am the rescue coordinator, as you know. So my role is to go out and find shelters and rescues to get funding as part of Pawtocol's mission. We're improving the lives of pet and pet owners. So we are donating 10% of all of our revenue to the Pawtocol Pet Fund, and then going ahead and dispersing that to shelters and rescues in need. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you look for in a pet shelter or rescue when you're looking for one of these to partner with?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we want to make sure that they're registered as a 501c. And then from there, we're going out and finding people who are taking lots of animals in high risk, senior pets, because when you have all of those demographics of animals, you're having higher vet bills. And so then we can come in and give them the funding to help them continue their work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then how many shelters then are you working with right now?
Right now we have a total of 5 rescues, and we've gone ahead, since we're in the pre-revenue stage, and given an initial $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency to them. And so that's amazing, because we're having a new income stream come in for them compared to like your traditional cash donation. So it's just opening up another opportunity for more income to come in for these shelters.
Yeah. And are these all in Arizona?
So no, we actually have 3 in Arizona, and recently we signed up 2 more rescues in California, and then most likely going forward we're going to be expanding to New York and Florida.
Okay, I was going to ask about that, if there are expansion plans in this as well.
Oh, so, yes. Yeah. So most likely those 2 states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Colin, I mean, it seems like the business is going well. I know that you've got an exciting football season coming up here. Let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about the product side.
Yeah, sure. So, you know, my alma mater, U of A, we're finally got the sponsorship here in a couple weeks, and it's going to be the home opener. We have, actually, we just got word we're actually allowed to do the halftime show as well. So my dog's going to be doing a weenie race with a few other dogs. It's going to be pretty fun. So we're looking forward to that.
That'll be so entertaining.
Yeah.
And so this is University of Arizona.
Yes, ma'am.
Football. Who are they playing in that?
We're playing Mississippi State on September 10th. So it's going to be national TV on FS1. So definitely look out for us. We'll have branding and all that all over the stadium, and really exciting stuff there. Yeah.
And giveaways and stuff
Yes,
too.
yeah. So we're obviously gonna continue to UPI, Universal Pet Income, our cryptocurrency. We want to get people exposure to that, so we'll be doing contests, things like that. We're actually also going to give away an Oculus. So between our billboards here and the events that we're doing, people are going to have the opportunity by just liking, following, getting engaged with Pawtocol. They'll be able to win things like that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's
it. Thank you so much, Colin. Great to meet you, Marlina. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jane.
And good luck.
Thank you. Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. I founded my company based on the belief of partnerships. If we didn't have partnerships and trust and relationships, nothing would move forward. We really like to get to know the core of the client. We want to know who we're working with. We believe in a story, and that's why we call ourselves a story time lender. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
SKUR provides secure data, including messaging, email, and it's very unique in terms of all the tech platforms out there. With me is the CEO, Alain Ghiai, to explain what SKUR does. And I really wanted to talk to you today about these messaging apps, because there's so many of them, and they are showing signs of getting hacked into. Now, a couple of years ago, it was like, some of these are safe, but it turns out they're really not that safe. Telegram, Discord. Explain to me what you know and what makes these apps vulnerable.
Sure. So what we do is SKUR is an end-to-end privacy communication platform. We have an email, we have messenger, voice message sending, file share, and so forth. And we're developing into voice communication and video communication as well from your phone or your laptop. The particularity that what we do is we have our own technology, we have privacy ingrained in the entire process. We host everything in Switzerland only on our own machine, and we don't use third-party cloud providers like 99% of the big tech. So going back to this discussion here, there was an article on threatpost.com, great website for people to look and be informed of the different threats happening. And this one talks about how Telegram and Discord are being used by cyber hacker for nefarious acts, so for their criminal activity. And there's features in Telegram where you can basically dispatch, like do a whole airing of, sharing and dispatching, and a lot of stuff that are not typically on your typical WhatsApp or Signal. They're used as broadcasting, essentially. You can broadcast content, and the hackers come in. They basically use those features to steal everything about you, from your login, your credential, your content. And they use Telegram. The way this article explains is that Telegram, especially, and Discord, are used for repository for storing that stolen information as well by the hackers. But that tells you that the whole myth that Telegram can't look at anything, we don't have access to anything, it's all nonsense. And I've known for years this because I work with telecom operators overseas that told me that Supreme Court judges have been subpoenaing in Brazil, for example, Telegram, and Telegram readily opens all the channel for them. So there's no privacy and no security. It's good to catch criminals, obviously, but if you want privacy, that's not the platform to go to. And on top of that, you're going to be hacked by all these hackers.
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting because when all the craziness was going on with the election in January 2020, a lot of people were moving to Telegram, and they wanted to get on Twitter and Facebook, and because they felt like it was more private, but I guess maybe not. Now we know more later.
It's a complete myth. It may be better than Facebook, WhatsApp, because they may not data mine and sell your data in real time, but there's no privacy.
All right. And they have your phone number, and that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, you have your phone number, that's the bottom line. And there's a lot of hackers because, it's, that if you use Telegram, you're categorized, unfortunately, as one of those, like, do-no-gooders. You're in that shady world, you have something to hide. It's unfortunate, but that's the branding of Telegram.
Yeah.
And that's where the hackers go to steal data as well.
Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of gotten a reputation for anything goes, which is free speech, but it's tough.
ISIS was using Telegram years ago. It was all over the French channel that ISIS was using Telegram, and and it's free. It's free, right? You can just create a Gmail and open an account with Telegram and have a SIM card that's temporary. Here's my phone number, here's my email. You can be anonymous like that to some degree and just use the thing for whatever you want. So it's a catastrophe that all these people, all these hackers and terrorists are using these free platforms.
Yeah. Well, okay. Very interesting. So let's talk about SKUR. And I know you were spending this summer kind of working on your tech infrastructure. So tell me about that. Where are you with that? What can we expect this fall?
Sure. So we're pretty excited because we're finally flushing out the little bugs of our secure mail application. So in the fall, we're launching secure mail for iOS, Android, and of course on the web, which is already functioning, but we're just finishing some debugging and just some new releases on our Android app. Very excited because people can use secure send feature now. We have also later in the fall, we're launching some enterprise versions of our mail and messenger. We are basically launching sometime in October, hopefully, a way for large enterprises to onboard as many people as they want, as opposed to having each user, like if you're a big company, you got 1,000 people you want on Messenger, then you can have an administrative layer where they onboard all the employees and then they send the accounts to the employees, like a real enterprise feature, because we're getting a lot of demand from enterprises, and especially overseas in Latin America, where we have now presence in 7 to 8 countries, I'm happy to say. So that's one thing. We're going to work on the group functionality. So really work a little bit on these functionalities for email and messenger. We just launched a brand new version of our webmail as well. We're preparing some video tools, etc., polishing up the site. So we've done most of that work, and in the fall, all of that will be deployed. We're also going to optimize our website for organic and paid search engine optimization. So we're going to move away from influencer type marketing and spending the money on our own site, because the return on investment is far greater, and we believe for Q1 we'll be very well prepared to have a very low cost of acquisition and a very robust optimization side to get small business and consumers. So we have quite a lot happening in the fall. We're going to talk more about it as we see each other as well. Definitely the email app is a big launch, big thing that people have been waiting. So that's sometime in September, we're going to have it fully launched.
Well, that is coming up, and I know I'll see you this fall back in New York again. So I look forward to the updates.
I'm excited. Thank you so much, Jane.